Hello, this is Russell Hawley at the Tate Geological Museum, and today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about trilobites. Now, trilobites are possibly my favorite invertebrate fossil because of all the invertebrates, trilobite fossils have the most personality. Ammonites are beautiful, but after an ammonite died, the head and the eyes rotted away and left nothing, and all you can see is the shell, which is beautiful and elegant, but doesn't have a whole lot of personality. Trilobites, however, have eyes that are made out of calcium carbonate, which preserves really well. And so when you look at a fossil trilobite, it looks back at you. You can see its little face. And if you imagine the antennae coming out here and the legs coming out from underneath the carapace, then you've got a pretty good idea of what that trilobite looked like when it was alive, which is always pretty cool. They are arthropods. They have a shell, an external skeleton made out of calcium carbonate and chitin, and the legs have joints in them to permit them to move around. They're distantly related to modern horseshoe crabs, but they're so different that they've been given a class all of their own, a class which became extinct at the end of the Permian. There are no trilobites left in the world today. In fact, the last trilobite died out even before there were any dinosaurs, so they're really, really old. This one is called Phacops rana, which means frog face. It's a good name because of the way that the eyes poke up, kind of like the eyes on a frog. If you look closely at the eye of a trilobite, you'll see that it's made out of lots of little eyes all jammed together. That's called a compound eye, and each little eyelet there, each ommatidium, would have been looking at part of what the trilobite was seeing. So looking out at the world was kind of like looking through a screen door if you were a trilobite. In between the eyes is this big swelling that looks like a big nose. That's called the glabella. Now, what was in the glabella when the trilobite was alive? There's no way in a million years you're going to guess this, so I'm just going to tell you. That's its stomach. The stomach was inside of the glabella on the living trilobite. So if you were a trilobite, your stomach would be right here, in between your eyes. Now, trilobites are rare in Wyoming, but there are millions of fossil trilobites in the Wheeler Formation of Utah. The most abundant species is Elrathia kingi, and that's what you're looking at right here. This is a piece of shale from the Wheeler Formation, and you can see lots and lots of Elrathia fossils in here, complete too for the most part. Still, the entire trilobite still put together. In addition to that, you've also got baby Elrathia kingi trilobites. You can see those little dark spots there. Those are the babies. So that's kind of cool. We can see how these changed as they got older and grew up. Now, most trilobites are pretty small. Elrathia kingi, these are full-sized. They don't get much bigger than that. An adult Phacops could curl up into a size about the size of an orange, but the biggest trilobites have been found in Morocco and Newfoundland and Scotland. This one is called Acado Paradoxities, and this is pretty close to the maximum size for a trilobite. The biggest Acado Paradoxities get just a little bit larger than this. That's not very big if you compare it to something like, say, a land mammal or a dinosaur, but 540 million years ago, these were the biggest animals on the planet.